Hey, what's going on guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting and welcome to this new video. So today we're talking pocket knives and I thought it'd be cool to do just a little bit of a comparison. Now, I'm not a blade expert. I've carried pocket knives for many years. I've owned a huge amount of pocket knives and I thought it'd be cool to just kind of side by side compare different price points. So right here we have got a $9 Tac Force black pocket knife. Next up we have a Kershaw Link. This one's coming in about 50 bucks. And then finally is my everyday carry, which is the Benchmade Mini Griptilian, coming in at about $90. So for the sake of ease, we're gonna say we're at $10 here, $50 here, and $100 here. Let's see how they stack up. Starting off with the black Tac Force folding knife. As I mentioned on Amazon, you're looking at about $9 for this thing right here. So very, very inexpensive. It is like 4.5 inches long folded. The blade itself, the blade itself is 3.5 inches and 3 millimeters thick. All it says is it's stainless steel. I have no clue what kind of steel, but yeah. What else can you expect for 9 bucks? On the inside, you've got like one of those liner locks that's coming over. It's real frickin' flimsy though, I'll tell you that much right now. Look how thick that thing is. In terms of weight, the knife is about 4.8 ounces. The outside is just a simple plastic. It feels very, very cheap. I wouldn't say flimsy, but it certainly feels cheap. Opening it, you've got this little like a flipper right here. Can you see that? Right there, you've got a little flipper opener and it does open nice. You can feel that it's got some sort of assisted opening or at least pretty smooth bearings. On the inside though, it's dealing with like a liner lock here. So there's this little piece of metal that comes under and holds that thing in place. It's a very, very small, thin, skinny piece of metal. And it's, I wouldn't feel comfortable like really going to town, cutting something real deep with this because I feel like you could snap that metal pretty quick. So that would be one of my first concerns. But, let's test the fit. You always want to check kind of back and forth with the knife. There's, oh geez. Oh geez. Can you hear that? I think I literally may have just broke this knife. Oh geez. And what just happened? So that clearly shows how strong that liner lock is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that blade is just rocking back and forth in there. As far as up and down movement, it's not bad. I mean, you can feel a little bit, but this thing is not secure. The blade itself looks sharp enough. I'm gonna assume out of the box, pocket knives are gonna be sharp. It's just a matter of how long is it gonna retain that sharpness and through what kind of tasks and how easy it is to resharpen. So we'll assume that these are all sharp out of the box. But yeah, man, this thing is, whoo! You can pull that blade out of there if you really tried. There's a spine test you can do where you hit the spine of the knife right here on like a piece of wood and see if it'll hold. Negative, it does not hold. You see that? Oh my gosh, look at that. Can you see that? So this liner lock is supposed to be on this side of the knife. And that spine test pushed this over to that other side. So, I mean, I guess the knife isn't gonna close on your hand. At first glance, this thing seems fine. Like it seems fairly robust. Like I said, it didn't feel like super flimsy, but it is just, it's poorly put together. It's not, none of the tolerances are tight. Yeah. Let's move on from this thing. Okay, it's fully stuck. I can't fold this thing back up. I'm throwing on some gloves here. My hands get incredibly sweaty. The studio doesn't have air conditioning, so they're definitely feeling it right now. Moving on to a completely different ballpark of knives. That $50 knife, you can really get a great pocket knife for that price. Today we're looking at the Kershaw Link. This is one of their newer Link models here. Boom, that thing feels smooth. It feels, just an absolute other ballpark compared to that first knife. So tech specs, you're looking at about 4.8 ounces in terms of weight. It's 4.4 inches long folded. The blade itself is 3.25 inches. And then the blade is a 420HC stainless steel. And that blade is coated in a black oxide black wash finish. In their description, they say that the 420HC stainless steel is infused with a little more carbon and chromium, which hardens up the steel. This is one of their heavy-duty knives, so it's meant to withstand some serious, some serious tasks. They also say that this steel is it's an everyday steel. It's one that you can use every day. It's, it's corrosion resistance. It's easy to put an edge back on. It takes it one very well. The thing looks sharp as all hell. Yeah. The handle is aluminum, so it feels much more sturdy, but it's still lightweight. It's not super heavy. Internally, you can see that it's got a liner lock once again, but this thing is coming all the way from the bottom, and it's like twice or 3 times as thick as that Tac Force one. So I don't think that thing's going anywhere. The knife itself opens with a little flipper opening. It's got their assisted speed safe open, so if you just press on that flip safe, whoo, that thing is smooth. Kershaw always has, I think, the smoothest opening knives. And I've heard something special about their bearings. I don't know all the tech specs, but in terms of feel, that thing, woo, that thing feels super, super smooth. I really like the way that feels. First up, we'll talk a little bit about lateral movement between the frame and the blade itself. Sometimes you can get a little bit here, and it's not a big deal. A lot of times it's just like, if you got plastic and metal and stuff, there's a little bit of movement in there. That's not necessarily to say that the knife is not good. It's just the parts that are encasing it, have a little bit of flex to them. This one's not moving though. Up and down vertical movement, this you want to be very careful of. Like that Tac Force one, that thing moved all over the place. And that has to do a lot with how it's fitting inside of the frame. This one, none. The thing is dead solid. So very, very good first sign. Another trick you can do with knives is called the Gorilla Grip test. You just want to wrap your entire hand around this thing as tight as you possibly can. And if you were pretending to do something serious with it, does your hand ever come in contact with what it is that releases the blade? So with this one, it's that internal liner lock. Do I ever touch that? Is there any chance that this blade is going to, come unlocked? No, this thing is steady. It feels really good in your hand. It's got decent ergonomics. It's not my favorite ergonomically speaking. In terms of a super sturdy, solid knife that I'd feel comfortable like really digging into something with, yeah, this thing's it. Let's test that spine test. So again, what we're doing here is there's the spine right here. You can kind of slam that on a piece of wood. Generally you use wood so it doesn't mar up the metal. And then, it's like on cheap knives, that liner lock will not hold. So if we give this a good bop, yeah, nothing happened. It dented the wood. That's all that happened. In terms of sharpness, it's new out of the box. It's gonna be very, very sharp. And they're saying that 420 steel takes an edge very well, so it'll be easy to sharpen in the future. That pocket clip is reversible, so you can have it on this side or this side, depending on what handed you are, what side you wanna carry it on. I don't know that I'm a huge fan of this blue. That was the color that it came in. It may come in more, I'm not sure. That was the default color. It's okay. It's not my top choice, but it is what it is. I like the fact that it's aluminum and not plastic. If I have another con besides just the color, it's the liner lock. It's okay. The liner locks just to me are a little less sturdy. For one thing, after time, that this metal does rub up against it. It's metal on metal, and after a while it will start to shave down. So you need to keep an eye on that if you're using this thing heavily over a long period of time. It's just one of those things that will wear. So keep an eye on that. And then the other thing is just closing it with the liner lock. It's not natural for me. Like I have to put my thumb directly in the line of the blade to close it, and I don't know. So it's never gonna hit my thumb, but it just makes me feel a little weird. I'm not a big fan of liner locks. But in terms of assisted opening, very sturdy, very strong, will stand up to pretty much any task I think you'd want to put a pocket knife up to. The Kershaw Link does well. For $50, it's a good price point. Last up, we were talking about the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. This is my everyday carry. It's probably my favorite knife I've ever owned and carried. As you can see, it's my personal knife, so it's beat up. It's been used like crazy. I've had it for about a year, so blades definitely needs to be sharpened right now, but this thing is a workhorse. Talk a little bit about the specs of it. I'm gonna read it off of Amazon here so I give you the right specs. Blade length is 2.91. So this is the mini Griptilian. There's the larger Griptilian, but the mini Griptilian, we're at 2.91 inches here. American made steel, we're looking at 58-61 HRC stainless. I don't really know what that means, but it's a well-rounded characteristic steel, including good edge retention, overall toughness, and corrosion resistance. Durable materials, injection molded, glass-filled nylon handle, offers exceptional strength and weight. Stainless steel liner, screws, axis, and coated reversible tip clip. Tip-up clip. Innovative axis mechanism, ambidextrous design. Axis gets its function from 2 Omega-style springs, 1 on each liner, given the locking bar its inertia to engage the knife tang. All made in America, CNC, modern, blah, 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 blah. Here's one of the biggest things that draws me to this, is the weight. So this thing is 2.68 ounces, I believe, compared to the 4.4 of the Kershaw. It's insane how much those couple ounces make. This thing, you can't even feel it in your hand. This feels like it's weighing you down. This will weigh down. If you wore this with basketball shorts or something, this is gonna weigh down your shorts. This super, super light and durable. Okay, to me, I thought it was just like a good plastic handle. Apparently it's glass-filled nylon, is that what it said? I don't know. It's very sturdy though. It's not plastic like our Tac Force plastic. Internally, you can kind of see here, we don't have a liner lock. We've actually got a little knob here, which is coming into contact with the back top of that knife and locking it into place. So that's what I was saying about the liner lock. I don't want to put my fingers in there, you know? So over here, I can just pull down on those 2 screws. I've got a screw on each side. I can pull those down and close it with 2 hands that way, or I can kind of fold it that way with 1 hand if I need to for some reason. Opening it, it's just got this big circle on top. Flip that open. It's not assisted opening, but it's so much more natural for me to do that. I mean, the flip safe is cool. Like, this is faster, no doubt about it. I like the flip safe probably more for quick access, but this thing is plenty fast for me, and yeah. It's got a drop point design, by the way, so you can kind of see it comes down right there. Okay, let's test this fit a little bit here. So going side to side. I've certainly got a little bit of play in there. I've got more play than I did with the Kershaw. I assume it could probably be due to this. I haven't tightened it. Like I said, I've been using this for a year and I haven't tightened anything on it. So it's probably, I bet you if I tighten that up, I'd lose a little bit of that, but there's 0 vertical movement. So that side to side, a little bit doesn't concern me. That screw might remedy it. It might be something to do with the, the plastic style parts. I don't know. Up and down is what would concern me, and there's absolutely 0 movement there. The spine test. So we'll hit this back right here. Yeah, nothing. Again, just a dent in the wood. I feel slightly biased because I love this knife so much, but it just solidifies how much I love this knife after using those other knives. This thing is just an absolute piece of junk. Just do not order this. The Kershaw is a very good knife. This one could handle a lot heavier duty tasks than this, no questions asked. Like, you could just saw into a freaking log with this thing. I don't know that I'd want to do that with this knife. It's certainly slightly flimsier. I mean, I shouldn't even say slightly. It's certainly flimsier. It's meant for much smaller tasks. The full-size Griptilian might be better. I haven't used one, but this thing's a beast, man. Okay, so there was a quick little knife comparison video for you. This thing's like $9. Stay away from it, and I would probably stay away from any knife under like $20, $25, to be honest. So I just put that thing over there. That doesn't even deserve to be in the same shot as these 2 knives. These 2 knives are both fantastic knives. This Kershaw knife, if you're looking for something heavy duty, if you work on a farm or somewhere where you're doing manual labor, maybe consider this one. This thing is meant for heavy duty use. The mini Griptilian, if you're looking for something like you want to spend a little bit more money, you want to use this as an everyday carry, depending on whether you're going into the office, whether you're at home chilling, whether you're going out camping, this thing will stand up to 90% of daily tasks. But if you want to push that thing hard and go a little more heavy duty, go with that Kershaw. About $50 here, about $100 here. stay away from over there. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna give away the Kershaw knife to my Patreon supporters. It was their suggestion for me to pick this thing up for a review this month. So it's going to them. If you wanna be involved with the Patreon, head over to that link. It is down in the description below. And next month you can help me decide what products to buy and what to do a review on, and ultimately what you can be given as the giveaway at the end of the month. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.